Okay, it's time for season 1, episode 6 of Arcane. I cannot wait for this, but remember, if you want the fully unedited reaction to this episode or any episode of Arcane, go to our Patreon page, the VIP tier. That's where you're going to find it. The edited version, which is a shortened version of the entire reaction, goes out to YouTube a few days later, but Patreon subscribers get the reaction first, and they get the fully unedited, even the things that I screw up, mess up, and just don't get right sometimes. Shout out, first of all, to all of our Patreon members. I just want to say a word of thanks to you. There's been a massive amount of people join our Patreon page specifically for the $7 VIP tier. It has been so cool to see. And not only reactions to Arcane, but there's also several album reactions on there. And the next series is coming soon. So don't miss out on your chance, because we're going to get feedback from you on what the future series are going to be that we watch. Also, shout out to people who have joined our Patreon and your comments. I've appreciated all of your comments, and I think the comments many times are more fruitful from people on Patreon because they get to see the fully unedited reaction. And on YouTube, they get bits and pieces, which make it look like I'm not really catching everything. But I think I'm doing okay so far. As a mental health person, you know that's what I look for. But I also just love this series and can't wait to see what happens next. What is going to go down with all of these people? What's the story with Caitlin and Vi? What's going to happen with JINX? This whole thing with Silco and her. And then the whole up, down, over, under thing. I just don't know, but I can't. Look, I'm not going to wait any longer because I have a feeling this could go all night. Without further ado, it is time for season 1, episode 6 of Arcane. The title says, "When These Walls Come Tumbling Down." Now, what in the world is about to happen? Don't forget, the fully unedited reaction out on Patreon. Go check the VIP tier over there. The edited version will come out a few days after we release it to Patreon in a shortened format. Let's get it. What in the world? That's so cool. Can't keep up. It's got to be Victor in his younger days, always being creative, always being inventive. And then this girl came in and looked from above, almost like they were, I don't know if they knew each other, but they were from different places. It's very interesting to see that look from the two of them looking at each other. But he seems so invested in what he's creating and inventing.
Don't be afraid. You built this. Why aren't you playing with the others? Loneliness is often the byproduct of a gifted mind.
What is it?
Huh.
The mutation must survive.
Can I help?
You want to assist me? Very well.
Looked a little bit like Silco-ish there with his face, the way it was shaped like that. And you know, this loner mentality where he could relate. It reminded me of when Silco was meeting up with Powder at the time and kind of bonded and connected with her. Like, we could get them. We could do this together. I'll take care of you. I'm here for you. And how he's got that connection. Because if this is Victor and it's way back when he was younger, clearly that would have been 20 plus years ago probably, at which point Silco would have been, whatever he was always named that, by the way, too. I didn't ask that. Like, was Silco always Silco, or did that become a different name for him? And how many of these people have different names as they grew up, or is it just the Powder JINX thing? But the connection piece for Victor, and I'm kind of wondering, like, where's your family in all of this? Like, where do you fit in with people? You're kind of on your own a lot. So again, abandonment, attachment issues, neglect, all these kind of things kick in, and he learns to live a life on his own, looking and creating and building and dreaming. And he finds somebody who, like, wow, this guy's like created an entire creature here and is trying to keep it alive. And here I am with him, and he wants me to join him. That's a nice invitation for him. I could see a guy this age liking that, even though it's an older guy and we have to kind of forget it in our world.
Seems just yesterday I stumbled upon an aspiring young scholar from the Undercity here, ruminating in his steel oasis.
Yeah, and that's the part that confused me after last time with Victor being so sick and dying. And that's obviously at this point now where Jace is sitting there just, mourning, grieving a dear friend of his that is dying. And not much can be done. So it is something how Heimendinger said, I hope I'm saying that right, said, I just feel like yesterday I stumbled upon this student, and that's when he just met him, I guess. And now here he is so long after that. And they get to have this conversation. But Jace clearly looks upset. He looks sad. And who wouldn't be with your best friend or your dear friend of yours who's dying? The one who's helped usher you into this. Like, he's the one that nudged him and said, we could do this. Let's do this. And now it's possible he's not going to be here to fruition. And so Jace is thrust upon this big political position, but also the friend and the inspiration that might be leaving him. So sad. And the more I look at Heimendinger, the more that I feel like he's probably just a good old man who's like a philosopher, very philosophical, and has been around a long time and thinks very cautiously and very carefully about what he wants to do or what needs to be done. But he seems very wise. So this is Victor. See, I thought that was Jace. Here I am. I hope that doesn't go to YouTube, but it probably will. And then they'll just see that part. And then I'll get tons of comments. In fact, I kind of want Nick to put that part on YouTube and clip it right there so that everybody says, what a loser. Like, you don't even know who people are, Tom. You can't even figure anything out. Why are you watching this show? I thought you were a therapist. Like, I thought you were educated. I didn't know you. So I'm just going to imagine the comments that I hear. But it's Heimendinger talking to Victor. But I'm thinking, how did Victor get out of the flipping hospital or the bed where it looked like he was on oxygen and dying to sit there now? And I don't see his cane or how he's walking. But this is definitely his accent. So he is talking about having met Victor for the first time. Now, after the prognosis, here he is. Boy. What a blunder, right? Goodness gracious. Should I just quit now? Should I just stop? Just kidding, y'all.
I suppose your legacy has been well secured. As one of Piltover's founders, what haven't you to show for your remarkable life?
Yeah.
You should be proud of what you've accomplished, Vic.
Boy, he just contemplated something. Like, there's something he hasn't had in his life. Because Victor's like, what haven't you have so much to show for your life? Like, you've got you've done so much and been around so long. And there just seems to be this lonely piece in him. And I think it could possibly be something to do with a relationship, like a love of his life that he never had. Something that he's missing that he didn't get to experience. I really wonder what that is for the professor, because he had this look of, oh, it's not been as perfect as you think.
Haven't you to show for your remarkable life?
Right there.
You should be proud of what you've accomplished, Victor.
My contributions will be short-lived.
Who shine brightest often burn fastest.
Oh, wow. You hear that? Those that shine brightest often burn fastest. And that's what's really hard, right? Like, Victor's thinking, look, what I've done, it's going to be like poof. I think about that now. Like, anybody who's here 100 years from now, who in the world is going to know who any of us are, right? That it's that fleeting. in a sense. And he's saying, anything I do is going to pale in comparison to you, and it's also not going to be that long lasting. But that comment of, and that's the wisdom, those who shine brightest burn fastest. And sometimes, that to me means, can die out quicker. And that's so sad to see some really bright people who are offering so much to the world not make it that long.
I didn't know you were an artist.
There's quite a lot about me you don't know.
Ooh.
Listen, I'm sorry for disappearing last night.
Duty calls.
Wow. She looks mad.
Victor's dying.
Gosh.
I think it has something to do with gases in the fissures where he grew up. Exactly the sort of thing we wanted to fix with Hextech.
Yeah.
Improving lives, solving real issues, not just trade disputes. Victor saved my life once. Now he needs me, and there's nothing I can do. I hate feeling so useless. He's like my brother.
Oh, wow.
Why did...
That's a real show of vulnerability there. He's just broken. Who does he have to go to lean on? Who does Jace have that he can trust? And he falls directly into her lap. Obviously, they've slept together and he's connected, and he seems very attached to her. I don't know if she seems as attached to him at this point, but he seems very attached to her. Like, I'm with you because of where things have progressed to. I am like connected now and all in. And he falls directly into her lap. Ultimate vulnerability there. And, the sadness, the grief of losing. Victor's in this grief state of seeing his life flash before his eyes and everything ending. And I'm not going to be here much longer. And Jace sees his dear friend who's dying, who he owes so much to. And doesn't know what to do. This is one thing he can't fix. We were trying to fix the things that are the cause of Victor dying. And Victor's now not going to be here with me to help fix it. Man.
He needs me, and there's nothing I can do.
She kind of looks at that
so
blue
useless.
thing, though, right there. That was
I
interesting.
didn't realize he was so close.
He's like my brother. Nothing feels impossible when I'm with you.
Wow. He's really attached. I don't know
I'm
if
an
she
exile
is.
from my family. I fell short of Madada standards.
I don't believe that for a second. Do you?
Now, this is interesting. Was that a moment? He's so intrigued and drawn to that. Remember, his blood came out and got sucked into that thing. Forget what that thing, I don't even know what that thing's called. But he gets sucked into that thing and becomes a part of it. And now he reaches out and it has this immediate connection to it. And then as he's just like attached to it, it's like the thing in the beginning when it brought them into a different space and time. So I wonder if Victor was brought into a different space and time, like he was brought backwards, forwards, sideways to a different place, and what the purpose of going to a different place is. Like, what would he go to another place for, and how does that decide that? This is really interesting. Or is this a whole nother scene?
Jack!
Theorem.
Must
My
not
name's
be.
Theorem.
Nice try,
Theorem.
Chuck. What's all the hubbub?
Boss wants us to grab someone up.
Someone? Anyone?
Boy,
Who
she
you
just
grabbing?
plays with that thing.
Some
like,
girls.
Focus. Who are they? Why wasn't I invited to the party?
And I don't know.
You're doing great, Chuck. Here, for your troubles.
What the hell's that?
The sign.
Never mind. Just help me to the edge.
You do the same.
Oh man, bye. Bye. What? Oh, yeah. Boy, they're really underground there.
We lost her.
Lost who?
Jinx. Jinx is like, dude, I am taking over, man. I got so many tricks up my sleeve. I can set you up. She even puts the mask on to keep herself from like injecting the poison. It's like this internal battle. It's like an internal family battle. And Jinx is like, I am staying in this seat right here. But obviously they're following Vi and keeping an eye on her. I wonder if Jinx even knows, though, that that's who they're trying to follow. That's the interesting part. I don't think she does. Where is Silco?
I feel like you and I got off on the wrong arm. Maybe we should try the other.
That's the one, right, that jumped in front of Silco to try to save him and lost an arm in it, just out of protecting him, and now goes around with the one arm. And that's why Jinx would say, I think we got off on the wrong foot. Well, normally it would be foot, right? I think we got off on the wrong arm. Let's try the other one. Slice. Now you have 0 arms. She doesn't even care. Like, she is that brazen. But here's what I'm wondering at this point is with Jinx, I could go into a whole breakdown of her at this point because I feel like just psychologically, she is, when she feels threatened, especially at this point, because when she was little and she felt threatened, she felt powerless. Like she couldn't do anything about it. Everybody around her was bigger and stronger and older and all that stuff. Now I feel like she's gotten so brazen, and when she feels like threatened, she goes on the attack. And that's all part of the trauma, right? That's part of the PTSD. When we have experienced trauma in life, remember, fight, flight, or freeze. When she grew up, it was freeze mode for her. Well, now she's grown into fight mode where she attacks. And I think it's partially because she feels empowered to be able to do it. And she's kind of like, I could care less. What do I have to lose at this point? And so I'm not going to let anybody push me around or push me down. And secondly, I think it's because of Vi. I think it's her way of being or living up to who Vi was. Partially because she is heartbroken and misses her subconsciously, not on the front of her brain, but behind there. And then partially because she looks up to her, admires her, and wants that approval and wants to finally be okay enough and good enough that she's accepted and pat on the back like you've done it and you're capable and I'm proud of you. That kind of thing. So I feel like those two elements in life we have to look out for ourselves.
No need. It's your sister. She's back.
Oh,
She's looking
wow.
for you.
So she pulled a zinger on her here. Look at the shock on her face. It's like when the total unexpected happens, you go directly into kind of that memory or in that shock mode. And this is kind of the freeze thing. So when PTSD happens, it's so interesting that when she feels threatened, like I said, in current world, like she's threatened actually today, she goes into fight mode so that she can attack and protect herself. But when somebody reminds her of the past, especially someone who was that close to her that she's lost, whether it's Vander or Vi or anybody else who she was really close to, she immediately goes back into that old relationship. It's almost like she's shocked. And so this person comes in and says, yep, it's your sister.
She's with some girl enforcer. Guess she replaced you.
You're lying!
Why bother? It's only a matter of time before you implode and Silco finally gets the message that you're about as good for our cause as you were for your family.
Oh,
Jinx.
wow.
10 out of 10, Toots. I think I know just how to deliver that.
Like she's developed into like this, and this is the mental health piece. It's almost like she's developed into this borderline personality. And that can come from trauma, y'all. It can come from a lot of trauma. If you look up borderline, which is just a real swing of emotions sometimes. And there is a constant threat around. Like somebody's always trying to take advantage of me. Somebody always doesn't understand. Somebody doesn't get me. Somebody is, irritating me. There's that finger pointing out mode. And it gets real hard when you've got so much trauma in her life that here she breaks down, right? Because I think she's feeling the sister thing, the Vi thing in the moment. And then as the other person's like really rubbing it in, she comes back and she gets into this. You thought she was going to break down, right? Into that just now she's completely broken. And then she's just like 10 out of 10, pushes her away and is like, okay. And it's almost like you would think a personality switch in the moment, but that's very much what that would look like when it comes to a borderline person, especially if she's any teenager like, because that would be the classic age for that. But look at how she acts immediately from this pain and grief into this pretending it doesn't even bother her, like I was talking about earlier.
I know just how to deliver that message.
About time Daddy joined us. You were so busy, little Wren here saw me in.
It's like walking into the room, you see your child playing with somebody who is a murderer or, you know, some kind of offender. Like it's that kind of feeling. Aside from who Silco is, for this guy to see all he's already seen in terms of what Silco's done with murder, with attacking people, with manipulation, the fact that he's in his house playing with his little daughter, again, the grooming factor, the manipulation factor has got to just drop his heart into his stomach, because now he's like, you're in my home now. You're with my family now. And this is a whole nother level. I don't know if he's going to get super angry and furious at this point, or if he's going to be like, I've got to find a way to get out of this because I'm through with this. Because the fact that he sees Silco there with his daughter says one of two things. Either Silco's now going to be in here and my daughter's going to, attach to Silco and it's going to be impossible to break from this, or I've got to find a way to get out of it like immediately. Look, I never would have thought he was going in to see his daughter and there would be Silco, ever. Oh no, y'all. This is the worst possible scenario. Oh, hate this.
Let's talk outside. Can't you see we're playing? You remember our old friend Vi, don't you? Vander's daughter, she was about your age. Her father went on a long trip, and Daddy here assured me that she left with him. Could you imagine?
Oh, the way he's describing it. She's so little at this brain-wise, brain development, child this young. She doesn't get what's really going on here, but he put it in child terms of like, Dad went on a trip. Your dad told me that Vi went with her dad on the trip. Basically, Dad was killed, Dad died. He assured me that Vi had died too. And he's saying that in childlike terms, like, gosh, Dad went on a trip and Vi went with her, but your dad told me that happened and it didn't actually happen. So would you be mad about that? Talking to a young child, this is the worst possible thing you can have happen with a child with a dude like Silco around. Just never. I am not a fan. I'm not a fan of how he does things. His personality, I think he's had so much trauma and wounding in the past. The way he gets back at it is by controlling situations. And I think he detaches from worrying about who he's hurt, and he attaches to the people that love him. This would be the classic, now I don't know what people are going to say about this, classic diagnosis of a narcissist, okay, with Silco. Meaning, I appear to be loving, caring, helpful, supportive, but deep down, it is all about me. It's about what I want. And if you don't follow my rules, my system, my plan, you are dead to me and I'll find a way to get you out of my way. But if you follow my plan, I will help lift you up. I can help make your life better in the meantime, but it's always got to be about him. I want to know what you think, but that's my classic definition here of who Silco is. It would be the narcissism, especially from all the hurt that he's experienced from Vander. Listen to how he tells the story, y'all.
But it seems she never made it. Isn't that sad?
See?
Could you imagine being separated from your father?
She's
the anger
in a safe place.
She's in the lanes.
That's not possible.
He knows more.
There's an enforcer with her.
Silco knows more.
A girl.
Caitlin. She's a Kiraman. Just like them, she does whatever she wants. I can't control her.
My people are tracking Vi and this Caitlin. They cannot be allowed to resurface. Do we understand each other? Oops.
Man,
Oh,
so
so
go.
sorry. Accidents happen.
Oh, that wasn't an accident though, Silco. That was on purpose.
It responds to organic matter. This is unlike anything we've ever seen, Jace.
Wow.
It could be the key to augmenting physiology, extending life, curing you. I can't determine why. They're rejecting the transmutation. I can feel my body eroding. I'll have Sky bring Heimerdinger. He might know something that could help.
What is this place? It's where the kind of people you topsiders don't want to think about wind up.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Man, PTSD again. Gosh,
I
won't
know you
even
have
let
your
her help.
reservations about me. This only works if we can trust each other.
You topsiders always find a way to screw us.
I suppose.
These two seem like the perfect combination, and this whole show seems to have such incredible relationships. You know, you had the Vander and the Silco thing before that they haven't fully explained, but they were obviously once very close. And you've got these two here. I just am so... You got Victor and Jace. I'm so interested in... And then you got the Vi and the JINX powder combo of who they've been. They really do a good job in this show of keying on relationships and what those relationships mean. In other words, in these relationships, there's two people, and they both bring something to the table that the other one needs. They're not the same power. They're not the same, I don't know, achievement separate as they are together. Like, together, they are more than they are separate. And so these two here are so interesting to me because Caitlin seems like she wants to relate to Vi. I'm not like those people up there. You know, I grew up understanding how not to be privileged, and I'm not all about status. And Vi, I think, has such trust issues that she can't count on that, but so much wants somebody to attach to. Where's Vi's attachment at this point? Her parents die. Vander takes her in. Vander's the key attachment, right? Then she has her sister, who's underneath her wing, that she always was tough on, but supported and loved her. She loved her dearly. So I think some people misconstrued that when I saw episode 3, when she just hit Powder and left her. I didn't think she was abandoning her forever, obviously, but Powder sure thought she did. But she abandoned her enough to where she couldn't get back in because she got taken. And I think for her, she just didn't know what else to do because of how hurt she was in the moment. So she's lost every key attachment as Vi. And she needs somebody to trust, somebody to hold on to. Even as twisted as the Silco JINX thing is, she at least has him as a connection, as somebody that she can lean on. That to me is very much a father-daughter relationship. And I didn't mention that one either, but that's another one. That these two, I think, would be great together just because I think Vi has this part of her that needs to be loved, that she's not getting any of that for. And I think Caitlin has this kind of bust loose, adventurous part of herself that Vi can fill, where she breaks the boundaries and she gets out there and she takes risks and chances, which is very much who I think Caitlin wants to be, but she's never been able to do that in her life. So if that makes any sense, I think these two would be perfect together. And I don't know if it's going to work out because I don't know if either one of them can trust the other enough. I think that Caitlin can trust Vi much more than Vi can trust Caitlin at this point, although we'll see.
Not all of them.
We aren't monsters, you know. We're people, just like you.
There you go. Sees her little sister. Oh.
It's all right. You have a good heart.
You've got a good heart.
Those are real words.
It's an adaptive rune matrix. Hextech that evolves.
You must destroy it.
What?
He's seen this before, has he? Or is
Hear
he
me now.
imagining what could happen?
I've seen nations destroyed by a single seed. Must be destroyed.
I won't let you.
Jace, this is a violation of the ethos. Is she all right? Wait. Easy. I'm a friend. Or at least I was. I mean, I owed her old man my life. But I do know someone else who might be able to help. Come with me. Ailment.
Shimmer, why would you take something that does that to you?
Shimmer.
I just wanted to feel what it was like to be somebody. Trade.
Whoa.
Thank you. I think Vi will be happy to see a friendly face.
No, you go ahead.
I found this on one of the firelights. It matches fragments we found outside your lab and at the Hex Gates.
How has this threat gone unnoticed for so long?
Since the Hex Gates were completed, the fissures haven't been a priority.
Oh, we'll settle that later.
This sort of an order...
Do it. We have to protect the city.
I saw Caitlin Kierman had a prisoner released on your order. Is there anything I can assist with?
No, we've got it covered.
Counselors?
He has no
we have
idea.
Lost...
And who holds you accountable?
Oh.
What?
Jace is
Shimmer
getting
is
strong.
rampant in the Undercity. Attacks at the Hex Gates and in the Academy Square. Enforcers fear to set foot in the lanes. All under your watch.
Jace, you forget yourself.
I'm sorry, Professor, but healing this city will take more than just speeches. You've warned us what not to do. But let me ask you this. What's your plan to fix this?
This is so interesting how the professor is so well spoken, so eloquent, and always so cautious, always erring on the side of caution and making sure that we don't take too big a chances. And here he is getting called out by Jace, who's been so like reserved up till now, and is like, wait a minute, you're sitting here knocking down every single possibility of a future that heals people. And I know he's personally affected with Victor and wanting to get Victor healed, but you are knocking down every single possibility of something that could help us make progress into the future. What's your plan? He's like, what is your plan? What are you going to do that's going to make a difference? Instead of knocking down, I always was told growing up, whoever said this was a genius. If you're going to bring a problem in one hand, bring a solution in the other. Don't just bring problems out. Don't just point out what's wrong. You've got to be able to point out what you can do about it. And that's what he's calling him out here, which I'm kind of proud of Jace for, being able to say, what is your plan? Because you're sitting here saying what's wrong with any other plans that come out, but you're not bringing anything of your own in here, please.
So, humans don't live for centuries.
Yeah.
We can't wait for progress.
Very good call.
We need a leadership focused on the future.
I love this.
And your years of service can never be repaid. I believe it.
Do you notice how he's honoring him and saying, and his ears are dropping as he says it, you are the true father of Piltover. Like, what you've done can't be replaced. Like, stands on its own. It is incredible. It's amazing who you've been, what you've done. I'm not disrespecting you here. What I am doing is condemning what plan you're putting forth, which is zero. You're just saying, we need more time, we need more time. Well, you know what? We all don't live forever like you. We don't live for centuries. People have a finite amount of time here. And I want you to know that in your life too. You have a finite amount of time to be able to make something happen. And so sometimes you got to take risks. Sometimes you got to take chances. And sometimes there's a possibility of loss. There's a possibility of failure. There's a possibility of destruction. You don't want that. We don't try for it. But if you just never do anything because there's always maybe something that might go wrong, then you never take a risk and see what could actually come of it.
I believe it's time we gave the beloved founder of our city a well-deserved retirement.
Jace.
Boy, that's his way to move forward.
All in favor?
Oh boy, is she gonna do it?
With my deepest respect and appreciation, Professor.
Wow.
Why?
Wow.
Easy, easy, easy. What was the name Savika gave you?
Savika. How did she get the name JINX?
JINX.
Right. JINX. How could I forget?
We're going to have to be more careful now. Silco will be watching. You used to live here.
Yep.
Who's Powder?
My sister. I thought she died, but now I have to try and find her.
How do you not know if your sister is alive or dead?
It's hard to check up on people from inside a concrete cell.
Yeah.
What, you don't have parents?
No. They were killed.
You know what's interesting about this? She's learning about her now. Vi trusts her enough to be able to tell her some pretty intimate details about her life. So I know the anger's building because she's having to relive her past. She's in her home where she lived before, and that's where all of her memories are. But she's also sharing with her where Caitlin cares enough. She's obviously showing, I care about you. I just don't know anything about you that I would love to know, though.
They were killed by enforcers.
Oh, which is you, Caitlin. But she looks genuinely concerned. Something's going on. Look who's here. Oh, man.
And
Does he have the shimmer that he's going to start handing to all of these people that are just broken down and tattered there to where they become beasts that just start attacking at this point? Here's Silco. I just don't like the guy. There's nothing about him I like. I think everything is for his own good. I think he is narcissistic. I think he is power hungry. I think he is taking out his own pain on other people through power, control, and manipulation. I just, oh my goodness, to see him in my office would just be not fun at all. Because every turn he takes, he's out to either take down somebody else or manipulate and trick somebody else into following him.
What have you done with my sister?
I have freed her. Candidly, she is more than I ever imagined.
He is going to get underneath her skin. He's going to push her buttons. And he's going to say, I thought you were it. I thought you were the one in your family. But nope. JINX is way more than you are. She's become everything more than you could ever be. And number one, it's going to upset her that he's talking down about her. But number two, it's going to really make her mad that he has basically groomed his sister into being his own prodigy. Oh, this is twisted. This is as twisted as it gets, y'all.
I'm gonna find her and erase whatever fucked up delusions you put in her head. But first, I'm gonna bring your bullshit empire down all around you.
You don't know your limits, girl. It's what got Vander.
Is JINX there?
You talk too much.
Did she kill him?
Wherever you are, light it up and I'll find you.
Oh, so he's at the bridge now. For anybody who crosses, they're going to do all the checkpoints for every single person. I can't believe what I just saw. I never saw that coming. That they had it planned. Like how Caitlin was bashing into that wall. Vi hits it. Everything comes crumbling down on top of Silco. They run out of the place before they get just crushed and devastated. But somehow he survived it. And then he's destroying everybody around him. But JINX had this one thing that she kept all this time. That if you pull this, I will find you. And she pulls it like, so when she gets word that her sister is actually alive, the person says, yeah, but she's got an enforcer with her, so you've been replaced. I think JINX Powder, but JINX said, nope, I'm going to see if my sister's really there. because I miss my sister. I want to be with my sister. I'm hoping that's what she says, and she's not like setting her up to try to get her. Oh, please. Heavens, don't let her be trying to find her sister so she could set her up and bring her back to Silco. Don't even go there with me on that. But hopefully she's wanting to find her so they can become unified and together one more time. Bring it all together. I can't believe what I just saw. There he goes.
You did this?
I thought you understood. The mutation must survive. I understand now.
So that was Victor when he was a little boy. And this is the dude that wanted to save the future for, I guess, trying to manipulate or do something with this creature at that time. And this is that dude. I don't know who he is, but this is that dude. And Victor's back to say, I get it now because I'm dealing with the same thing with what we have. It's like they have common ground on this now. And Victor's like, I understand exactly what you meant back then.
How many problems can one girl cause?
JINX, yes! She's like, I need my... Oh, no, don't, no. No, no. Yes! Yes! Look, she is even her little self. The little sister again. Look at the eyes and look at the face. As soon as Vi says, Powder, she turns as if she's the little sister again, right back in the moment. I don't know what's about to happen, but I'm telling you one thing. The fact that she left, it was like, Silco, you're a liar. The way that you've done me is dirty. I'm going to find my sister. The torch goes out, and I thought that was it. She was about to do something with the ball. Like, done. Destroy everything. And then there's Vi. Always there when you need her. Oh my gosh, this is as good as it gets.
Vi? Oh, Powder!
I'm so sorry, Powder. I tried to come back. I promise. It doesn't matter. I never thought I'd see you again.
Are you real?
She has been so manipulated in the mind that she's dead, that she's, either told, also believed my sister's just gone. First of all, my sister's gone. Second of all, my sister doesn't care about me, doesn't love me. And third, I am stuck by myself the rest of my life to survive. So much unresolved trauma that goes on that it really does feel like, I think in this moment, that she's not even real. Like, I don't even know that this is a real moment at this point. And how beautiful of a moment it is for them to have this, and for Vi to be that big sister that comes in and gives her the hug, even though Powder just can't, realize it's even real.
Things changed when you left. I changed. Who's she? Who are you?
Wow.
It's okay. She's a friend.
You're with an enforcer?
So that was Savika. So Savika's the one with the one arm that she ended up killing. And that's what she was asking about the name JINX. I couldn't figure out the JINX thing that she said though. Savika, what did Savika call you? Anyway, but no, she doesn't get this picture at all, right? Because she figures this is the enforcer and this is what Savika said. You're with an enforcer. So you've obviously replaced me with somebody else. So who is this person? And Vi's like, hold on a minute, hold on.
Sister is JINX.
Caitlin, just listen. We can work this out.
Plainly. Shut up! I'm in no mood.
Oh no.
We didn't say anything. I wasn't talking to you.
Powder, it's okay.
It's JINX now. Powder fell down a well.
You're not a JINX. God, I never should
have. Stop talking to me like I'm a child. You're a class act, sister.
Listen to her voice.
Thought I missed her.
I'm here for you. Only you. You can fire that thing if you want, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to abandon you again.
Everyone shut up. I need to think.
All the voices in the head. It's driving her crazy. She's lived with this for so many years. and tried to rationalize it, tried to work through it. And now she's just like, I'm scrambled in the head right now because this is so much of a shock that's in front of me. I need some time to process it. But she's got this enforcer here. Savika was telling the truth. And it's not really the way she thinks it is, but I think the enforcer, Caitlin, was the one who's putting two and two together here now. And like, wait a minute. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Caitlin, good save. Oh, they got the blue crystal.
Take her.
Oh, no.
I?
Oh, where's Caitlin on top of that? Season 1, episode 6 of Arcane. I just never expected it. I thought it would be kind of chill as it was going on, honestly, until it gets to the very end. And then you've got the clash with Vi and Powder JINX, where I thought they were going to come out of that good, and then JINX gets slashed in the leg. Vi gets taken. Could have been killed right there, but like, nope, let's take her. Now she's taken. I don't know where Caitlin ended up. And JINX, just get this PTSD for me. I'm back at the dang beginning of the show. JINX is now again traumatized. Here we go. See? I'm never going to be able to trust. I'm never going to have my sister. I am forever going to be alone. All these core beliefs that are kicking in from these experiences. And it's almost worse than never seeing her again, right? Seeing her for that moment, thinking it's real, then feeling like she's been betrayed, and then them going into defense mode and trying to save the day, which they were doing, but then ultimately for Vi to be taken away. And now she's lost her sister a second time, y'all. How devastating that. What else could happen next? I mean, I can't keep going through these roller coasters every 3 episodes where, okay, it built up to where I thought it was going to get to where I kind of like it. Like, hey, it's going to be back together and sisters, it's going to be awesome. And now all of a sudden I've got to deal with this. This is what makes me say, again, I'm not saying I quit. I'm just saying it's just very difficult for me to see trauma after trauma after trauma. And I can't do anything about it. That's all I'm saying. Remember, fully unedited Arcane episodes are on Patreon. Go check the VIP tier. Everybody's doing it. It is a great place. There's a chat room in there where we could talk about Arcane ourselves. I'm in there as well. And the next series is coming very soon. I want your feedback, everybody, on the VIP tier on Patreon. Thanks so much for watching. Leave us your comments. Let us know what you think. Remember, what I say is not real therapy. It's just comments about the series. But leave me your comments. Let me know what you think about it, because I really do want to hear. And I can't wait for episode 7. We're on the final 3 of the first season already. Coming very soon. Remember, the Patreon episodes go to there first. And then a few days later, edited version goes to YouTube. We'll see you on the next Reaction Therapy.